Canada Post workers hit the streets today, but not to deliver mail. They have walked off the job because negotiations on a new contract agreement are deadlocked.
A fair contract!
Canada Post and its workers remain far apart on key issues like wages. The Crown Corporation has proposed an 11.5% raise over 4 years. The union is pushing for almost double that amount.
The Grinch seems to have stolen Christmas for us. And for the holidays, we want to be able to work, but we want a fair contract at decent wages. The cost of living has gone up. It's affected us greatly.
Canada Post says it's struggling to keep afloat, a business in decline, due to encroaching competition from private carriers.
We're losing in the parcel business because we're not competitive. So we've got to put forward a plan and a proposal that we can afford and will allow us to grow.
The strike will bring Canada Post operations to a virtual standstill, and that hits some Canadians especially hard.
I'm holding a letter that I was hoping to go. It's a donation.
This rural Newfoundland community counts on Canada Post for most deliveries.
It's going to put a lot of people in a hard state, just before Christmas. People want to get on the ball and get ahead of it, and it's like, this is not a great time for this.
It affects families, it affects seniors, and it also affects the bottom line for those who receive their checks in the mail.
Canada Post says essential checks like old age security will still be delivered. Nevertheless, many who depend on the postal service are looking to the federal government to find a solution.
I'm not looking at any other solution other than negotiation right now. Every day is a new day in collective bargaining, and we are going to continue to support the parties in any way we can.
Now, Ian, as far as we know, both parties are still at the negotiating table and talks continue.
And Sophia, Ottawa says collective bargaining is the solution here, but as time passes, pressure to end this will likely increase.
Yes, and the government has been known to intervene when the stakes are high. I mean, just this week, the government ordered port workers and in August, national railway workers back to work and imposed binding arbitration to end labor disputes it says were hurting the Canadian economy. And if we go back in time, in 2018, the current Liberal government pushed through back to work legislation to end a month-long strike by Canada Post workers. So if negotiations continue to go nowhere, history does tell us that the government may indeed step in.
Sophia Harris in Toronto tonight. This isn't just about holding up holiday greeting cards. Joe Horwood shows us for some small businesses, the strike, especially right now, hits their bottom line hard.
Hi, how's it going?
For entrepreneurs on the Christmas market circuit, the pace is already picking up.
The holiday season is probably our busiest time of year. We have lots of shows. We also do a lot of online sales.
But the strike at Canada Post means small businesses could suffer big losses.
Usually on a daily basis, this is full to the brim with our shipments going out Canada Post, right? And as you can see today, it's not.
Connor Curran ships about 40% of his company's packages through Canada Post. It's the only way to get his products to rural, remote locations. Without it,
sometimes, the shipping cost might outweigh any sort of profit we get, so we might have to actually start canceling orders.
And even if you do ship private, Canada Post is often tasked with the final mile.
Private players like FedEx or UPS, even if they do want to reach to that rural areas, it is going to be extremely costly for them. And that's why they are trying to team up with Canada Post.
While rural Canadians still rely on the service, business owners like Curran have lost trust.
At one point, our entire business was run on Canada Post. 100% of all of our packages went through Canada Post. But issues like this made us diversify our logistics partner.
People want to get their packages ordered and delivered. And so this is why we would want an immediate end to this strike, because again, Canadians and especially retailers continue to bear the cost of these disruptions.
And more could end up finding permanent alternatives to the already struggling carrier.
I estimate at least a 20 to 25% hit to our bottom line.
As the strike eats away at critical holiday profits, with losses growing by the day. Joe Horwood, CBC News, Calgary.